think this time around it's gonna be very tough for to secure the victory.
Yeah, and when you're saying you don't like this hero in this instance, you could just start with I don't like this hero. You know, the Troll Warlord, he's not picked up for a reason. To me, you know, he's like, if we're doing tiers of carries, you know, he's right down in that basement. He's in the F tier. He's in the
I disagree. I think I like the Troll. I just think that it's hard to implement into a game, and a lot of it depends on your team, right? I think it can work. The thing is that in my mind it's much easier to make it work when every single one of your heroes has a stun. It's not like a ultimate like for the Chain Protector, or but everyone kind of have Venge.
My apologies.
You have an offlane Mars and stuff like that. With the Broodmother on your side, you need to play the hero completely different, and everyone on the team needs to understand it. So I'm kind of scared for them. Good thing is they have a Train Protector and Team Spirit. If you bring their Lesh down, if you can't really control the map in terms of taking down towers, the Troll can't get so big with the Battle Fury. It can come to territory, and later on down the line, he has a direct.
Yeah, and I suppose as well that at some point you're going to see the Broodmother pick up the Aghanim Scepter as well. So those Spinner Snares are going to start to come out, get the lockdown on the map. That way, in the fights, you know, you are going to be able to keep heroes locked down for longer and longer as the game goes on. And yeah, if the game goes 35-40 minutes, you know, Na'Vi, especially with how they controlled that last game, you know, how well they looked at knowing when they peaked in power, when they were a little bit behind, and how to play the map. I have more confidence in Na'Vi playing the Troll than I would just a Troll being played after seeing that first game.
I still think this last pick on the left being able to take down Fox big. Mira is speaking about taking down, he's...
Yeah, he walks himself away. He gets himself out mostly unharmed, and the mostly unharmed is the most important part there. He is going to burn through a little bit of regen to get himself back into lane-worthy health, but you were talking about you've never really seen Collapse play this Snapfire, with the Clockwork coming in as well up against the Troll. You know, in this particular matchup, how do you expect this lane to go? Because they've already, you can see they've already eaten away all the trees as well, with the Tree Protector being here. You know, the Quelling Blade coming out from the Snapfire, so they are trying to get as much out of this lane as possible.
I'm thinking Collapse farms what? That's it. He probably doesn't die. There are gonna be some shenanigans being pulled off by Mira, you know, stuff like that, like. But I don't really see them getting kills unless Malady gets a little bit out of himself, so it's mostly going to be farming, and we rarely see the Snapfire just struggle away. Scatter Blast is very nice.
Okay, and what is the core Snapfire build? You know, do you want to be going straight for the Shard, you know, Guardian's Greaves as well, you know, or maybe a pipe in there somewhere?
Guardians in this game in particular, you're going to Greaves, then you get a Shard, and then you kind of go for situational items. I'm looking at the Lotus Orb being a pretty big one, considering Spinner Snare is going to be a problem, Batrider is going to be a problem, the Overgrowth is going to be a problem. So I think it's mostly going to be Collapse.
Okay, looking in the mid lane now as well, you can see that the lightning into the Split Earth already coming out. Lesh and Nicky Cool is being punished for that. Not really missing out on too many last hits with that Split Earth coming up for him, but he's still going to be using a lot of regen coming through. You can see that he's down to 1 charge on his bottle. Lol, just going to be going for the, it looks like the wand. Is it the, no, so it was the boots coming out, yeah, so it's just going to be the stick for now, but he's still looking towards the, you know, the river, looking for those the bottles to come out towards the water runes, just to make sure he gets the regen. And I suppose, I mean, the Bat isn't going to have as hard a time as something like an Ember Spirit here, maybe the Tiny up against the Leshrac, but it's still not an easy lane here for the Bat Rider. You know, you're still going to watch out. As soon as that lightning comes out, you've got to be running yourself away, because the Split Earth won't be too far behind, and it's going to be really hard then, if Lol can get the timing down, to maybe try to look for
First blood.
And he caught me monologuing once again.
Time already.
But yeah, it's going to be hard for the Bat, just in terms of the harass that comes out for the Lesh on this lane.
especially because Lesh bought the boots. So when the bat hits level 4, that is danger territory. But very nice item choices. Left going for the stick and then for the boots. He knows he's gonna have enough mana and HP. He has the sticks, and he just needs to outrun the... That's quite nice. Even with the flame break, there's not a 100% certain that you're gonna be...
Yeah, would you, if you're Nicky Cool here, because we do see the Bat Riders go for, is it more of a drums build, you know, 4-staff build in here before you go for the Boots of Travel and the Blink Dagger and the BKB?
No, the drums build is for mid lane scenario. You go Travels BKB. It's the ideal item choice, but sometimes you're not doing so well. So
Really though.
Link where you're gonna BKB. It depends, but a movement speed item is pretty much in the set. So I think Boots of Travel. It's more than likely that we're gonna.
Okay, meanwhile, top lane Mira, again, Maladi's getting some harass off here. They're just trying to trade damage wherever they can find it on the side of Spirit, and they already picked up the first blood, so it is going to go well for them in this lane already. We take a look at the last hits. Collapse, he isn't doing too bad. He's not doing awful at all here up against the Troll. The Troll is about 5 to 6 last hits above, but Collapse again with that first blood, so that's going to even out somewhat here. And you can see that the harass coming through from the Scatter Blast. The cookie's available as well, and if Mira can close that gap into her cogs, into the Battery Assault, it's no wonder he got taken down first blood. The bottom lane as well, Yutaro, how's he doing? 24 last hits on the Ursa, so he's keeping up with the Troll. So it is going all right for both of these carries in the lane.
Yep, it is the case. You know, Ursa is an annoying hero against the Brood. Tiny also has 0 armor, so can't really get too close to the Ursa, especially when you have a Crystal Maiden. That's the idea. Aggressive, position 5 with a kill potential is something you want to have. Otherwise, the Brood just low you use the Ursa, and the CM that doesn't really work. Blaze is just keeping himself a little bit safer. That's why you see that being the
Yeah, top lane, there is going to be some harass coming out onto Malady once again. Mira, he got cookied in. He was able to drop the cogs as well as the battery assault, but this time Malady going to be able to survive through it. Does have that salve as well if he got too low. The raindrops even coming through mid lane, though. There's going to be a chase down. Nicky Cool, he wants to try and burn him down with the Firefly, the treetops, but Lol will still survive through this. Even with the 2 points into the Diabolic Edict, Nicky Cool taking a lot of damage, but he was able to trade it off bottom lane. Lays, do you want to try and get aggressive onto Yutaro? I mean, Yataro might try and stack up the right clicks here onto Lays, so Lays does need to be careful about the Fury swipes. And yeah, action all over the map, but doesn't result in any kills just yet.
Courier has been slain in
40% miss chance. Yataro missed only 1 hit on the Brood, so there you saw there's gonna be an overpower and you're gonna be taking this. Nice done from Lace to pull back, but he likes to be 1 versus. He doesn't want the CM to be there. That's why Sweden Strong is just focusing on the mid. Because that's where they have the most kill potential, and that is where Spirit need to react.
Yeah, and you can see that obviously Leshrac, you know, he knows up against the Bat Rider, so he did want to go. Oh, Split Earth's going to be there, but it's actually going to be the rune on the bottom, so it's going to be going the way, or the bounties coming through as well on the map. Is Sweden Strong going to get this before Mapochka? It's going to be a double. No, the Frostbite comes out, but there's going to be the Avalanche as well, so Sweden Strong going to be able to pick up both of them.
Have a nice money into the pockets of Sweden Strong. He just wants to keep the CM away from the... And look at how much space it's actually plays. You know, this is the gold lead that the Ursa established in the first 2 minutes. So as soon as Sweden Strong started moving around, it actually opened it up quite nicely.
Top lane, they want to get themselves on top of V-Tune. V-Tune, the cogs are going to be dropped as well, but Mira, he needs to get himself out of this because the danger is actually going to be V-Tune. He's turning around with the right clicks. Do they have enough damage? The battery shield's going, and Mira, he will be able to walk himself out of this one. V-Tune happily trapped in there with the clockwork, just saying, okay, that free kill for me, I'll take that all day long.
I'm surprised V-Tune didn't get a sneak in this. That's kind of weird, because there are going to be some spells being spammed by Spirit, and Troll Warlord is naturally a hero that kind of struggles in... So he has the raindrop, that's nice.
So this time Marty's going to get caught out. Mira though inside the cogs. It's going to be the rotation. Nicky Cool, they're going to try and make a move. What's he got here on the Bat Rider to try and close that gap? It's only going to be the Windlace. Anything to slow down onto Collapse. He's not going to be able to get himself away from this one. Nicky Cool, he doesn't even need to use a lasso. He's just going to take down to the Firefly, and Nicky Cool, he gets the kill. Didn't have the mana for the Firefly, excuse me, for the lasso after the Firefly. So good job he could get the kill without it.
Nicky Cole really isn't putting any emphasis.
Should look to their
Last time you
middle
were against
tower.
the Dragon Knight and you just
Radiant should
completely
look to
abandoned
their
the lane.
bottom tower.
This time at least you're gonna have the Tree and Protector, but one more move like that and Laurel, once he gets level 8, he'll get Diabolic Edict, another point as well. The tower is just gone, so
Yeah.
Nicky will have to be a little bit more careful though. For now it's okay because Navi, they brought the Tiny into the mid lane, they used the living armor, and the tower is gonna be in healthy territory at least for now.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. It's up against a train. If you don't take that tower down, as long as there's no major aggression on the map, the train is just going to be able to regen it up. And look at it; it's already back to about 3/4 healthier as Lays on the bottom lane. How is he looking in terms of net worth? He's actually not too far behind the Ursa itself, and now he's level 6, so he has the spawn spiralings up. He's going to be able to take over this jungle, and the Ursa's already moving himself away. You see here, Yatoro, he's in the jungle. He's going to be going towards that Battle Fury, but we're 8.5 minutes in here, and he's only just getting towards the goal to pick up one of the items. And is this now just going to be Yatoro? Does he just need to move himself through the jungle? Does he give up the lane here to Lays?
You cannot stay in the bottom lane. If you're going there, people need to ease. You need to have an organized defense. So I think Lays, if he sees the Ursa on the bottom lane, he's gonna know something. That's why
Radiant have fortified their structures against attack.
Yeah, and Lal here is nowhere to see that bounty rune pickup as well. Lays,
Danger.
his spidey sense has got to be tingling. There's nobody showing in the mid lane. You can see, yeah, he's running himself into the trees. He's just hiding himself away. He's waiting for that inevitable reveal to come through so he can maybe move into the trees a little bit further. Lal's going to be here now as well. Lays moving himself around. He actually sees Mapochka, so he needs to drop another web, but the frostbite's going to come out. And now Lal, he didn't move himself too far away. Lays, he's in the trees. He's got another spider web out. Yeah, he's going to be able to go for the TP, and Lal, he didn't have that the Earth Splitter for another second or two as well. So only the 1 point into the split Earth. So it wouldn't have been a lot of damage anyway, and there wouldn't really have been another follow-up from that. Unless, I guess, the Ursa tries to Quell and Blade through the trees or something.
Very bad situation here for Spirit. They need to make something happen on the map, and they're trying to do more towards this. That's not going to be giving anything.
Yeah, Nikiko's fine. In fact, he's going to be about 10 gold away from the... So by the time he gets back to the fountain, he's going to have those boots of travel as well. Prime him for a gank because he has the lasso up. They could look for a rotation. And yeah, again, Na'Vi, they've kind of weathered the early storm, the offlane. They only lost 1 kill, and they've slowed this aggression down from Team Spirit in this offlane, because Collapse with the Snapfire, the Clockwork coming out as well, that's a fairly decent kill lane, and they've just avoided most, I'm not going to say all, obviously, they still got First Blood, Team Spirit, but they've avoided most of the aggression of this lane. And V-Tune, he's now looking towards rotating around, getting his own Battle Fury out as well, it looks like, and all of a sudden, Team Spirit, they can't really apply any pressure on the map.
Is under attack.
Yep, they can't do anything. Navi are making this game as boring as possible. And they're enjoying it. We are not enjoying it that much, but they most definitely are, because in Spirit they can't get to a tower. They have a Clockwork, Crystal Maiden, Snapfire lineup that really likes to murder people when you have 1 kill. What does that mean? Once the BKBs come out, you're going to be completely useless. And Navi are making this happen by offering their supports and the Broodmother in lane. Maybe they bring a core into the mid lane, but that's the hardest lane to gank. And suddenly, Inspirit don't have a play. So Inspirit are gonna have to start being a little bit more divey. Try to get a little bit more personal with things, at least force the DPs, because there has to be chaos if Navi are to be forced into a state.
Yeah, you can see there's going to be 3 heroes here from the side of Team Spirit trying to put the pressure onto this tier 1 tower. While that's happening, though, you can see that the Broodmother, he's trying his best to apply pressure to a tier 2 in the bottom lane. Mura, he's teasing the hookshot. He's going to be able to get it on top of the train. Where's this follow-up going to come from now, though? Collapses, he want to go for the cookie into the cogs. He does, and Lol's going to be there. So, it does happen, but they only really get a treant for it, which... on the face of things, okay, they got a kill, great, but it's only a position 5 Treant, and at 12 minutes into the game, he's happy to play that sacrificial, get that information, lose his life to create space for the rest of his team.
The tower is the important. You need the top part of the map so that you have 1 more farm, 2 greater access to the mid lane. Mid lane tower has to fall. If your Clockwork and CM are to be useful in this game, it has to come in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Team Spirit. And for that, the mid lane tower needs to. That's why Na'Vi are putting so much emphasis into it, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be the same thing as the last game. Team Spirit, they don't hit their timings, they don't start killing people. Sweden Strong gets his big item. Last time it was the Pink Dart or the Shard and the Ricky. Now it's gonna be the Blink Dagger, and then so this is dangerous for Team Spirit. I'm expecting them to be a bit more aggressive. It's important that they have the hook shot, which right now missing.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Spiraling's got a, I want to say, a magic resist nerf.
They got a nerf in terms of vision. I don't know if it's their magic vision rate 700.
Yeah, it might have been a couple of patches ago, but I'm just looking because the Broodmother going for, I mean, especially up against the Crystal Maiden, a Leshrac, a Snapfire here as well. So the Brood wants it, instead of the Guardian's Greaves, it's going to be going towards a pipe for that first big item. You're not going towards an Orchid, not going towards what I usually see coming out from a Broodmother. It's going to be that pipe to come out here just to offer the protection for the rest of the team as well. Not just for the Spiralings, but for the rest of the team as well, once these fights do start to break out. But like I say, up against a Lesh and a Crystal Maiden, you know, that pipe is going to be immensely valuable here coming into this mid game for the Brood and the rest of Na'Vi.
Currently it's for Spiralings, but later on it's for
No such
want the
thing.
agility
Too much
items first.
damage.
Look at VQ. Yasha, BKB into probably an SN. You know, it's all about Troll being very hard to kill. Eventually he will do the damage if he's dying, if he's standing his ground. If Team Spirit, once they commit, that is when it turns on. He knows that they're deep enough. That is kind of what Na'Vi are gunning for. There is going to be a time in this where they don't have enough damage, but that is where the battle comes in. It gets man, this is like the most exciting game I've watched so far in the DPC. 3 kills, 15 minutes in. I feel like we're watching that other game that we must not. It's kind of what Eastern Europe sometimes brings.
Yeah, sometimes we do get the straight dive. Speaking about dive, Mira's going to be able to get himself onto Sweden Strong, and the multiple cases are going to start to come through as well onto the time. Sweden Strong will go down. Did he get anything from this now as well, though? Mira's going to be able to come in. Flame Break with that Firefly into the last source, and they're going to trade support for support. It looks like Mira, can he get himself away from this one? Still taking a lot of damage, but the overgrowth is going to be in Crystal Maiden, and that's not going to save his life here. Even with the freezing field, the damage comes out, and the Troll pops the ultimate. One more right, but no, he's going to be stunned up, and he do still get the kill into the Crystal Maiden. Bijou trying to do his best to keep himself alive, but he was surrounded by 3 heroes, so he will be taking down a 3-for-2 trade here. Team Spirit coming out on top in the Batrider. He's going to be going towards the lane just to get a little bit more farm, but he has to be careful. No, he doesn't actually have to be careful, because Lyle collapsed. They move themselves into the mid lane. They finally want this mid lane tier 1 tower with the Leshrac having the 4 points now into Diabolic Edict. Even with the fortification, they should still have a decent amount of damage, but then again, Trained Protector's going to be back alive. Living Armor gets popped once again onto the tower, so this tower is still going to be looking fairly healthy.
Team Spirit needs a million of those. They need to be forcing these things out. Na'Vi, you know, this is what happens. You get forced into a fight that you know, ideally when you talk about your strategy, you don't want to take it. But Team Spirit are going to force you. One time you're going to take the bait and you're going to die. And Team Spirit, they want that to happen multiple games. So as mentioned, their supports actually have the impact needed, and with the mid lane tower being down, now the Roche is open, and this is kind of the objective taking potential of the air side. He's not good at taking towers, but he can join the great against the Enrage, but also then he's great at taking the Roche, and Larl is gonna have more tools to just run into the enemy face, create space.
Yeah, and you can see that as well, that Leshrac, he picked up the Aegis, he's already got himself the Bloodstone, so if the fights start breaking out, he's got a lot of survivability, he's got that second life to offer there as well, so Lesh should be able to put out a massive amount of impact in these fights here. Broodmother could be going towards a Hex, it looks like. Mira, ooh, well, I mean, the Spiralings were in the middle, and so he wasn't able to get off that hook shot, and Lay's just going to be able to skitter his way away here, it looks like.
Yesterday, in the Western European PC, Ace went actually wouldn't mind just to know where Team Spirit are, because I think what Na'Vi are gunning for is the late game with the Troll, right? So you need some time for that to happen. Even once VQ gets a BKB, he's still kiteable, right? You need to be strong enough that you don't have to pop a BKB. So I was kind of expecting the move. Yeah, Team Spirit have
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
open season, hunting on Na'Vi, and Na'Vi, we're seeing them, they just dodge. We saw what happened. So just until they get to the Nicky Cool is going to have his in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out. He just needs the recipe for it now as well. Lal going to be able to clean up these spiders. And we'll see. I mean, Nicky Cool's away. So, yeah, like I say, he is still farming up onto that BKB. So they don't want to fight just yet here. But the Earth's Distillery, he's still farming up in the mid lane, moving towards the bottom lane now. But actually waiting for the rune. It's going to be a double damage rune here for Yataro here as well. So, really nice pickup just to accelerate the farm even more after this Battle Fury for the Ursa.
Interesting build from the... Doesn't want a BK. He wants to have status resistance, and it seems like he wants to have the catch. And that's actually quite interesting, especially against the goal, against the European, and against... means that he doesn't want a long fight. He wants to go in and out of fights many times, so just to play around his vision and hunt. I'm kind of curious to see if he'll go through with it, but it is a nice build to go for, especially in this kind of scenario against the troll, especially because you don't want to stay long in a fight and fight the troll. You're going to lose.
Yeah.
But if you're going in and out and just murdering people and the troll gets left alone, it's not going to be an issue for you. It's actually quite cool coming up from the troll.
Yeah, and we've seen here Lal as well. I mean, the troll just continues to farm, and Yataro 2-0-0, so he's having, he's been involved in nearly all of the fights for Team Spirit, half of the kills. But what do you think then? It is, I know, 5 kills in. So he does actually want that Blink Dagger after the Sanjin Yasha into the Bash, like you say, the Aghanim Scepters there as well. At what point do Na'Vi, do they want to try and contest now before he gets that Blink Dagger, before he gets the Basher, or are they going to be content to wait for extra BKBs to come up, extra items to come up as well? Because both teams are in this game haven't really been the most aggressive, as we can see in the kill scoreboard.
I think that's... I think what Na'Vi are waiting for right now is the Brood Mother.
Dire should move
They are
to their
feeling like the
top
Blink Dagger
tower.
on the Tiny isn't... I think that might not be the case. I think Blink on the Tiny was good enough, but they just fought without it, and they felt like they were super weak. So now they're up against the Aegis, and they're getting pulled into this category of just...
Dire's
But I
middle
think this
tower is under attack.
this is not going to work out for them, because they are kind of tossing away their timings. Then once you get the Hex of the Brood Mother, maybe if you lose a fight before that one with the Hex, you get out, the Hex isn't enough, and blah blah blah, you get too far behind and you can never back into it. I think every item timing needs to be used, and I'm actually surprised that Na'Vi aren't pushing it a little bit forward, at least to force out things to happen around the map, to force out some TPs and not allow Spirit to get every...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, Troll Warlord as well. He's got himself the... What does he complete first? Because he's got himself a Mithril Hammer, but it looks like he wants the Yasha first before the BKB? No.
He has 2 points. Maybe, and he has... I think V2 expects Team Spirit to go a little bit more aggressive. That his towers are falling, and you cannot allow...
Yeah.
It's just gonna be wait. Tier 2 in the mid drops, you have no access to what's going on. With Tier 2, at least you have someone. It's not ideal, but it's still close to the outpost that you can reclaim that and have the territory. If it's down, it's a problem. Team Spirit would punish if... Maybe.
Radiant are scanning for enemy.
Now he has BKB, so V-Tune is somewhat battle ready if it does.
I love this as well from Team Spirit. They're not even, as I say what I was about to say. I was about to say they're not smoking up. They're so confident that they're just roaming around the map as 3-4 heroes, and they're inviting Na'Vi on. But they do come with a smoke now, so they're going to look for the wraparound. They're going to be able to get the hook shot Trian, but the avalanche comes out. Malady, he's still going to be taking a lot of damage. He's still going to go down, and it's actually going to be the Ursa that gets that kill inside the cogs, thrown in by the cookie. While this is happening, though, the Brood Mother, he's just trying his best to take down this 2-2 tower on the bottom lane. But Yataro, he rotates down, cleans up these Spylines again. That Battle Fury paying dividends here, and this tier 2 tower, I think it's still going to be a bit of a trap. But the freezing field comes up, but Poshka, though, nothing's going to be able to get towards him because of those cogs. He might still be able to take down Lal. Lal's going to go down, and now can he take down the Poshka? Mira might be the next target as well, taking a lot of damage. Nicky Cole trying to do the count with the Firefly that just works off. He get the kill onto the 2 supports, and Na'Vi, well, what else can they do? Because Collapse is going for those point-blank multiple kisses here now as well. As Ursa and Yataro, he's moved himself right back up. He gets the kill onto the troll, and Nicky Cool's going to be the next target. So even though Yataro, he was on the other side of the map, he still gets himself back into to group up with the rest of his team. Enraged, Utaro though, can he survive through this? It looks like he might not be able to take him down here. Na'Vi, Nicky Cool trying his best, chasing on now as well with the Silken Bowler. They do get the kill. The Spawn Spiderlings comes out. And Broodmother just be able to push down onto that tier 2 tower, baits Utaro down after the fight breaks out and immediately TPs into the mid lane. And Na'Vi, what was the trade on that? A 2 versus 4. They did lose the troll, but they got pretty much everyone on the side of Team Spirit.
That's the reason you got the BKB. Troll Warlord doesn't have a BKB there. He cannot commit onto the Lesh. You lose that fight, you lose the power, you probably lose. He has the BKB, and Team Spirit, they get a little bit greedy and you can punish it. That was kind of the point. Na'Vi are made a situation where with that BKB, they are either trading the tier 2s or they're winning the fight. And in the end, they ended up winning the fight without the tier 2s falling, and now they think
yeah, look at this. They're going to be able to take down Collapse. Malady, the tossback came out from Sweden Strong. The Blink Dagger on the Tiny, and immediately Na'Vi just collapsed onto Collapse. As the tier 1 tower now going to get aggressed on here from the side of Na'Vi, and nothing to stop this as well. The Ursa is still down. Really nice timing here from the side of Na'Vi to find that pickoff.
And they are gonna have a lasso in 30, so that's pretty much when Collapse comes back to life. You take the outpost, and now you have a chance, making Team Spirit kind of scared, to get the kill and walk into the Roche pit. Second Roche is very important for the Ursa, especially because of the shard. So you would ideally want for Spirit are gonna fight it for sure. And Na'Vi, they can use that knowledge that their enemies are gonna be somewhere in the vicinity, advise them to get the kill and walk into the pit, or maybe force a vibe. You know, you never know what. Very solid position now for Na'Vi, considering where they were at just before the BKB.
Yeah, and Yatoro, he drops, you know, the battle lines on the map as well. He says there's somewhere in this dire jungle. They're grouping up. You can see even low. He's rotating around to group up with the rest of his team. Broodmother, he's got the Hex Gold. Is his courier? He's got the items as well, yeah. So this is going to be the Hex. So this next fight, this is going to be the reveal of the Hex. And do you want to be who do you want to target with this? Is it the Ursa, or do you want to be dropping this onto the Leshrac?
It's about toss back someone with a tiny, hex them, and kill them, or at least get them low enough.
The hookshot, it comes in point blank. Sweden Strong trying to get the blink in, but it's only going to put him in the middle of the Mortimer Kisses now as well. Mira tries to get himself up. You can see, wow, can he keep him alive? He's trying to move himself away. The cogs though. The cookie comes out once again. Lasso onto the Ursa. It's immediately going to fade his V-Tune. They just want to fight into this, but the Ursa Bird's going to be forced out the way. And now V-Tune, he's got no target. It's going to be 4 heroes dead. Only Nicky Cool getting out alive.
That hookshot is game-winning spell usage. After that, the fight was just like Na'Vi, you have a hex that you're about to reveal, and you don't click it as fast as the clockwork keeps. Flash goes in. The troll cannot go onto the ledge because the cogs are protecting him, and suddenly the fight is over. Thorough goes in, goes out of the fight barely, but they do pull him out. And that's kind of the idea that the Team Spirit are going to kill a hero, get out. Even if the troll remains alone, he's going to beat someone up. So you have to be careful of that. That's why the Thorough is going to be having the Aghanim Scepter. That's why he's going to have Basher, just to have those couple of more seconds to get away from the troll if you need to do that like he needed there despite the fight. Yeah, after the first spell was used in that fight, it was 100% certain who's going to win, and I'm surprised that Na'Vi just didn't start yelling to themselves, bail, bail, bail. The fight was over.
I don't think they could bail, because I mean the hookshot connects onto the Broodmother as the tiny blinks in front, so they both get stunned, the cogs get dropped, and everybody was just trapped in there. You saw that, you know, even Lyle just moved himself into the cookie came out, he was inside the cogs, and there was no way for Na'Vi to back themselves away, because by the time they know what's going on, 3 heroes are pretty much dead, and now that's going to be Ursa taking the Aegis. He's got the shard there as well. Like you said, that Ags isn't going to be, he's got half the gold he needs to be able to pick that one up, and now this is going to be Team Spirit's map. They've got all this momentum in their favor. They're setting the tempo on the map, and they've got some great anchor points in the fights with the clockwork, you know, with the Crystal Maiden, with the Frostbite coming out, Laos with the Split Earth. So the amount of control they have here, Na'Vi just can't fight around it at the minute.
They have such great items. And the troll is itemizing in a way where the items that Team Spirit already have are going to be counted. So Na'Vi, I don't really see the next changing. If troll wants to go for this build, I'm going to murder you, I'd rather see a Silver Edge Daedalus item, like a damage item, than a Basher. Because, I mean, your Ensnare is already going to be... You don't necessarily need it.
Haste!
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, how is he looking in terms of going towards that? He's still going to be a ways away from it if he wants to go towards it. And by that time, a tier 2 tower gets taken away by Team Spirit. He might be able to move himself down to take this last tier 2 tower on the bottom lane as well. You can see the Malady as well as Nicky Cool. They're trying to do the best to push this lane out. And this tier 2 tower for the Radiant still stands after all the pressure that Broodmother was putting on. After all the pressure, you know, even the Treant rotating down to put the pressure on. Help these creeps push out like this with the Nature's Grasp. It's just... They still haven't been able to take this tier 2 tower on the bottom lane.
Another way of both initiation and save is the absence. That's also something.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they get Nicky Cool. Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now, I'm looking at Na'Vi and I'm thinking, what the hell do you do? They are still pushing the side lane. That's what they should be doing. They can just go the high. Can jump in and kill a hero and get out the
Look at this mirror. It's going to be thrown in by the... Oh, it might cost him something on the cookie comes out. Tweetu trying to do what he can. He has to use the hook shot defensively. But yeah, that's going to be the Aghanims coming out for the snap buy now as well. So he does have the gobble up and the spit out to send someone like the Clockwork in. Doesn't even need the hook shot. Can just use that, drop the cogs on anyone he gets close to. And this is going to be another avenue here for Team Spirit to close the gap and start the fight. And Na'Vi, he can't even fight underneath the tier 3 tower. You see them pulling back. The living armor's only going to do so much for this tower before it gets taken down. And they don't want to fight into this Aegis, it doesn't seem.
And that's a tier 3 that falls in the mid lane and you have a Tiny. Usually teams are gonna not want to push the mid lane when they're up against the Tiny, because they know that the toss back into tier 4s is going to be
for enemies.
with so many ways to reposition. Quite okay. And they're staying here to protect the triangle.
And Zara blinks in, the hook shot comes through now as well onto Sweden Strong. Nicky Cool has already used that BKB. Yatoro, what's he going to be able to do here? Because Mira's going to be getting down low. But the card comes out, they take down Sweden Strong, got a 1-for-1 trade. But Yatoro, he wants to carry on going. The overgrowth's going to be used, but Yatoro, he's going to be cleaning up, takes down Malady.
Laurel is fast enough that he can TP to the bottom lane. You know that Na'Vi have to go through the triangle, you're protecting him, and Laurel will be there fast. It's not going to take as long as it did for Yatoro to come back into the fight. If you remember the mid lane fight, the triangle is closer to the bottom lane, and Laurel was already pushing out a little bit further. So easy for him to connect. Now when he's on top, Na'Vi could go for a play, or they should go to play. The problem is they are missing some of the key BKB and...
Yeah, and that lasso is still about a minute away. V-Tune, he's got his own BKB. About 500 gold from getting the Basher as well. It looks like he does want to be going towards the Basher. You know, that is going to be the next big item if he can get to it. And Yatoro, how's he looking? He's already got himself the Abyssal Blade. So the difference between the two carries here, you're looking at nearly over 8,000 gold difference between the two carries. That's going to be half of the net worth difference between the two teams themselves. When the hook shot comes in, Nicky Cool gets caught out. Split Earth's going to be there now as Yatoro gets gobbled up, spits out, and claims the kill on Nicky Cool.
They saw Laurel be on the top lane. They thought they couldn't fight, and probably was the case, because you're going into an Aegis with some of the responses. Like, okay, we can outpush the bottom lane. The thing is that it takes so long. In your mind, it might not be that much, but it takes so long that Laurel gets his Boots of Travels back. He rotates to the bottom lane where his team is waiting. It's just way too easy to... One thing about the Spirit lineup is they do have a Clockwork, so the vision game is over.
Yeah, and Yatoro as well. He's started onto... In fact, I think he's... If we look at his courier, that's his axe completed. He wants that Swift Blink to come out next, but Yatoro, he's going to have the extra cooldown on the Enrage, and you can use it while disabled. So, what can... Na'Vi can't fight into this.
He is just going to go forward. He jumps in, whoever he wants, and even if you lasso him, you're not going to... Hex is something that can be a problem.
Look at this. Malady, you get the toss back up. They might be able to get themselves onto the Ursa, but the Ursa just turns around with the Abyssal Blade with that massive amount of damage here on the Ursa. Lotus is being used as well. Mira turns around with the... I mean, he's still going to be trapped in for a little bit. So it's a decent defense. And Lasso will drive back now. I don't think they have enough to take down the Ursa. No, the Lasso, they've already got the enrage up on Yutaro, and Yutaro's going to be able to take down Pichu. And Izzy, he's still going to be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Doesn't matter, 3 heroes go down. Spirit overrunning this game, and GG is going to be called. Na'Vi, they give up the second game, 32 minutes in, 19-9. And after a great start, they just could not keep up with the Ursa.
I was saying, yeah, Hex might be powerful. The changes at the sliver and the SMY, so there's 36% status. They're always going to be getting it.